Hello friends, I'm Tom. Welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight we're making another delicious pasta dish. So I hope you like Italian sausage, I hope you like mushrooms, I hope you like onions, I hope you like peas. If you don't like peas, you don't have to put in the peas. But we're going to start with, in the big Dutch oven, just a little bit of olive oil, maybe 2 tablespoons. We're going to take some bulk Italian sausage, so it's not in the casing, and we're going to fry that up in the hot oil just to get that to cook, exude some of its own fat, and then we'll step in and add in some primini mushrooms. So it looks like a huge amount. That's about 1.5 pounds. So if you don't like mushrooms as much as I do, use fewer mushrooms. This will cook down drastically. Also, we have 1 very large sweet onion and 2 cloves of garlic. We're going to use 3 cans of 28 ounces of chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, whatever you have, not whole tomatoes. But yeah, we're going to just let this cook, and we're going to be breaking this apart as it cooks. So let's take a closer look. So as this cooks, we're going to break it apart with the wooden spoon. Once that is done, we're going to take the sausage out, leaving its rendered fat in the pot, and we'll saute the onions, the garlic, the mushrooms. Okay, this is coming along quite nicely. It's been about 6 minutes. So what we're going to do is, it's not cooked all the way through. It'll continue cooking in the sauce. So I'm just going to now lower the heat as I take a slotted utensil here, lifting this up, putting it into a bowl to have on the side. Because the next thing we're going to do is cook down our onions and our mushrooms and garlic. If you want, at this point, you could also then to the pan add a little crushed red pepper if you want to give your dish a little bit of heat. But totally not necessary. All depends on your heat tolerance. Okay, so I'm taking a look in there. So that was about 1 pound, about 2 pounds of sausage. We have maybe 1/4 cup of beautiful sausage fat. So let's just add in these onions. I'm going to put those on first, get those going. And I'm going to put the mushrooms right on top of that. We're going to cover this and step away and check that maybe every 5 minutes or so until they've reduced down. The onion should be nice and soft. The mushrooms will have lost a lot of their moisture, but so at some point we're going to have to take the lid off to let more of that moisture then evaporate out of the pot. So let's check back in a little bit. Alrighty, that's been about 10 minutes, and you can see greatly reduced, but lots of liquid in there. And that's really good tasting liquid because it's coming from those vegetables. But that's going to make our sauce really thin. So let's just let this go for about another 10 minutes with the lid off, just until we can see that that has mostly reduced, gone away, not totally. And then we'll be able to be ready to add in the sausage. and the canned tomatoes. Alrighty? Alrighty. Okay, let's take a look at our mushrooms and our onions. We can see that there's still some liquid in there, but I would say that's probably been reduced by about half. So at this point, we're going to add our sausage back in, and we're going to use a bigger pasta shell. I'm going to show you that later on. But we want this to be pieces of sausage, not chunks of sausage. So what you can do is, after it's cooled, while this has been cooking, you can certainly chop it up and get it into nice size morsels. We're going to add that in. Give that a nice stir. And now we're going to add in 3 cans. Here we have a petite dice. So it has a little texture there. This one is a puree, because sometimes you just look what's in your cabinet. And this one is crushed. So crushed, pureed, pretty similar. Petite dice gives you a nice little texture, and that's the one that you really want to use when you're making your vodka cream sauce. So let's stir this around. We're not going to add in the peas at this point because the peas are not going to add any flavor to the sauce, but we'll add the peas later because that'll add a nice addition to the sauce in the end. Gives a nice little pack of protein. Okay, so this is going great. So we're going to let this simmer for probably a good 45 minutes or so. Let those flavors meld. You don't need to do this for like 5 hours. It's not a bolognese. So we're going to do that. When we come back, we'll add in the peas, and then we'll add in the best ingredient, some cream. So see you in a few. Look at this delicious sauce, or you might call it a gravy, bubbling away, nice and rich. So at this point, what we're going to do is final steps. 3 cans of tomatoes, 2 cups of peas. They were frozen, so cools down that sauce just a little bit, but it'll be back up to temperature soon. So we have 3 cans of tomatoes, 28 ounces each, so 3 times 28 is 84 ounces. Right? Yeah, that sounds right. So let's use 1/10 of cream. So have a cup, 8 ounces. This is half and half. You could certainly use whipping cream. Just going to give that a nice bright color. You can adjust that as you want. If you want it to be more, certainly then add more. Just adds a little richness to this dish. So I want to show you the pasta that we're going to use, because this is something you probably have never seen before. Maybe you have. This is, and of course I know someone will laugh, conchiglione. So think of a conch shell. Look at how big that is. I mean, it's just like a huge mollusk almost. So, you know, this is great because peas and sausage are going to get stuck in there. And you're going to get this wonderful whole everything all in one bite. So that's it for tonight. Hope you enjoy making some pasta this week. And until we eat again, have a great week. Bye-bye.